Welcome to the Decode podcast with Elias Malfavon, Daniel Stanphill, and Sean Kincaid.
Welcome to the Decode podcast. We have a couple of very special guests tonight. You may recognize these faces if you're watching. We have Karlie Severinson from SMTA and Elevate. She is the Senior Meetings and Operations Manager. And we have her counterpart, Madison Soliday, the Meeting and Event Manager at SMTA and Elevate. So, ladies, welcome. Thank you for coming on with us tonight.
Thanks for having us. Jinx.
So, yeah.
Dynamic duo.
That actually will happen a lot through the podcast.
Yeah. We're on the same wavelength. We're basically the same person.
Yes.
Well, so tonight's shaping up to be a bit of a SMTAI preview, right? I know that Daniel and Sean and I have been talking a lot, and we are super excited for this year's happenings. Getting back to Rosemont, Deep Dish Pizza, the Decode podcast has a booth, and we'll be performing interviews live at the show. We got the Bright Manufacturing Challenge going on. A lot to be excited about. So expect a heavy dose of SMTAI preview, and hopefully we'll see all of you listening and watching there. So I guess we'll kind of just jump in here, and I have a question to start off. So exclusive, Decode exclusive, hear it here first. Besides the Decode having a booth at SMTAI, what are you most excited about? And can you give the audience a sneak peek into any new events or programs that are debuting this year?
Madison, you want to? Yeah.
Oh, you want me
to start? No, I'll start. I mean, there's a handful of things that come to mind. I think the biggest one is we have a sold out Expo floor with 118 exhibitors. We have not sold out an Expo floor in the last, handful of years. Registration for both Expo attendees and conferences trending well above where we were at this time last year. So I think we have a lot of momentum moving on from last year. In addition, we're doing a Tuesday night 7th inning social reception on the Expo floor from 4 to 7 p.m. We kick off the show Tuesday night, 4 to 7. Kind of a unique time frame, not typically the time that you would see an Expo kickoff. So we're trying to enhance both Expo attendees and exhibitors' experiences. So we'll have popcorn, hot dogs, beer, wine, bubblegum. We'll have a couple activities in the booth. So that's one thing that's new this year that we're really looking forward to. In addition, for all of you chapter officers listening, I'll plug our officer social Wednesday afternoon. If you want to see me dressed as Steve Harvey, make sure you're there. Contact Alicia for more information. So I'm not, you guys don't.
You spilled the surprise.
I know. Well, it's not a surprise. Most people have seen the picture, but if you want to see it live in action, make sure you're at the officer social if you are one of our amazing officers. So those are my highlights that I'm looking forward to.
We could bleep it out and create some suspense around it. What did she say?
Oh, do you want to? Okay, here, let me find it.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
We can make producer Paul.
I'm already looking. Karlie, talk while I'm looking.
Well, no. So my question is kind of. I feel like Elias stole my question. To be honest with you.
Oh my gosh.
I like it.
Just
like that. Make sure you come to the officer social.
Is that Steve Harvey?
It's like, I won't even know if it's you or
I know.
him in the flesh.
The resemblance is uncanny.
Alert the paparazzi.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Before we get too far away from this, so you mentioned that it's a sold out show floor. And I feel like it's sold out with
Elias. Oh, sorry.
Kind of plenty of time to spare, right? Does that mean, what does that do for your thought process next year? Do you need more floor space? And also kind of what do you attribute the sellout to this year as opposed to maybe last year or the year prior?
Yeah, that's a good question. And, already we're always thinking like a year or two ahead. Like we're barely even thinking about right now, kind of as is. So, definitely potentially looking to expand into like another expo hall or part of an expo hall, especially selling out, like you said, as early as we did, because, in years past, we've had exhibitors signing up within weeks of the show. And we do have a wait list going this year. So I think we would definitely look to expand next year. And I credit a lot of it to just the momentum that we're seeing at both like our local shows, at our conferences. I think we're seeing a huge increase in attendees like returning to in-person events. We're, when we're looking at our registration and how stuff is tracking with our local expos with SMTAI, we're we're back to, 2018,
The high reliability
Yeah.
conferences were really well attended, both of
Mhm.
those.
So yeah, that we're getting back. So it kind of seems like everyone's kind of, since everything happened in 2020, it seems like people are ready to like come back in person. And then, also I think part of it is like they want to see Karlie and I. So
For
it's
sure. Yeah.
yeah,
And like
Naturally.
the Decode
Who wouldn't?
podcast, booth 2403, that's probably not going to hurt things either, right?
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah.
So
So,
Yeah, I think that's a
no,
big
but
part of it is like sorry, Elias. It's just what people have shifted their mindset to just with the whole COVID thing. I think a lot of companies kind of pulled their people back, did a lot of in-house training, a lot of virtual sales. I know a lot of people did FaceTimes instead of having customers come to their facilities and see their lines. And I think that did work for the time. But what people have been missing the last few years is that face-to-face interactions, the networking that we build out into most of our SMTA events that are, across the world, that you just don't get when you have a virtual event. You have webinars, you're doing emails or phone calls. You just don't get that face-to-face interaction. And I think people really miss that. And I think companies are seeing the value in that again, kind of how it wasn't before COVID. So it's good to see the momentum building over the last few years. I know, SMTA wasn't the strongest in Minneapolis. I think moving to Rosemount was a very strategic move. I think it kind of brought back what made SMTI so special and, made people excited for it. Kind of coming like back home in a sense. So, I give Madison a ton of credit for the work that she's done the last couple of years, selling out the show floor, being kind of the face of SMTA Expos, really kicking butt. And, kudos to her for selling out the show floor this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And something else I was going to say is I think another thing that has helped us tremendously is the staff that we have at SMTA at Elevate. We're to a point where a lot of us are established. We've been there for 2 or 3 years, so we know the drill. This isn't our first SMTAI, so we're able to look at, okay, what did we do last year? What did we do in 2023? How can we make it better? How can we enhance it? Like chapters is really, like, they're really upping the game. Expos, like, we're trying to get creative. Karlie's getting creative with conference. And so it's a very cohesive group and it's fun to work with. So I think that makes a huge difference too, because we have great coworkers, we have great staff, and great people in the association. So it's like coming to work and, getting to spend time with people that you enjoy spending time with it's just great. So it's a group effort and I love what I do. So
I know we can certainly all testify to the fact that SMTA events are it's once you've been to a few of them, it just feels like you're hanging out with your big group of friends again every time you go. Like it's a fun industry to be a part of, and these events are a lot of fun. I'm going to step away from the event just for a second and ask whose brainchild was the limited edition merch drop?
That was definitely Alicia. She's been wanting to do a limited edition SMTA store. Our chapter officers or, a lot of our members are always asking for SMTA merch. And I think it's been a lot of like the standard like golf polos. So Alicia really like kind of stepped back and got together with one of our vendors here in Minnesota and came up with like this cool like limited drop for SMTA. And I think that she had a great time with it. Our marketing had a good time with it, with the videos.
Yeah.
Great campaign. Great campaign.
The merch sold itself.
So it was Alicia. I told you guys we should have had her on instead. Excuse me, I'm
Please,
saying a couple notes here.
sorry.
So last year was my first year attending SMTAI, and
Same.
it felt like a whirlwind for me. It was unbelievable. Plus, like it was my first time attending an expo as like a true user. Like I wasn't exhibiting, and I could just walk the floor, and it was. I don't know if you guys remember this, but like it was just surreal to connect with all these people that I've talked to LinkedIn forever, and I'd be walking places and people would like come up to me and say like, "Are you Sean?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." And then like we'd be like, "Oh my God, is that you, Jake?" Right? Like it would just be, it was surreal, and then you're hanging out with these people afterwards, and it's wild, and it's just really cool, and it got me thinking because like last year Daniel did the passport program, right? And if you guys, because you guys know all the ins and outs of everything. I barely got time to look at the brochure sometimes when I like the entire event list, because there's something going on all the time.
Hmm.
If you could recommend something to somebody that's going there for their first time, and then also follow-up question, if you could recommend something to somebody that's going there that's maybe a veteran, anything that would pique their interest, what would you guys
They
recommend?
think they've seen it all.
Yeah.
You want to take
Well,
this?
definitely,
Oh,
definitely as a new SMTA attendee, I do urge them to do the passport program. I think that's a great way for them to get connected with or get integrated a little bit more with the exhibitors on the show floor. I think they get to have a little bit more of that personal connection. They've got the set amount of booths that they get to have a connection with or a conversation with, and then go on from there. And then on the next day they get a chance to win a cool prize. But I think that was a great kind of new initiative that started a couple years ago, and it's really taken off. I think our Students and Young Professional Committee has done a great job with that and really promoting it. And I think the companies that have been exhibiting the last few years since we started it, we have a lot that are kind of year after year that they sign up for it, but we have some new ones that also join every year. So it's good to see that participation on the exhibitor side as well, kind of promoting the new students and new professionals getting into the industry, or maybe people that have been in the industry, left and now coming back. So it kind of works both ways. I think that's a great way, as well as just kind of attending our free events that we've got going on. Madison mentioned a couple of our socials. We've got the Oktoberfest on Wednesday night. We have the keynote, Joanna Cooper on Wednesday morning, and that is co-hosted with the Assembly Show. Those free events, I express them to take a part of or be at or attend them, I should say. For veterans, I think that it's great for them to look at our courses that we have. We are putting out 10 courses from Sunday to I know that they think they know it all, but there's always something new that's coming out. So I definitely urge them to attend the technical sessions. We have over 100 presentations going on in the 4-day program.
Wow.
And the 10 courses. They are ranging from beginner to advanced. So I, kind of urge everyone to take a look at what we've got going on. And the technical committee put a bunch of work into soliciting these abstracts. So we've got some really cool presentations that are coming out, and the amount of companies and global academia that are part of the program is really great this year.
And another thing I would say for the vets is, obviously we're doing the Bright Challenge through the support of EMAC, and I think that's a really good way for them to kind of give back, or use their knowledge to meet with those students and kind of take them under their wing. And they'll have breaks throughout the day, so be like, let me introduce you to this person, they'd be a great connection for you. And so that would be a little bit less for themselves and more just giving back to the industry. But I think that would be another really great opportunity for any veterans, or really any industry person in general. Anything we can do to make the students there feel welcomed and it's somewhere that they want to come back to, and in an industry that they want to stay in.
Yeah,
I guess
I
we
love
gotta
that. I
skip
think
the whole
that's
manufacturing thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
we touched on it,
No,
and I know you guys have talked with some of them too. So
no, but to your point, Madison, I think that's a fantastic recommendation for the old salts in the industry, right? Those have been around and seen it all. Look for somebody who it has first time attendee written all over their face, and maybe take them under your wing and cut a little of the edge off, because it can be intimidating, right? We've got some really bright minds in this industry who are well established and whose names are on a bunch of publications and technical papers and so on and so forth. So for somebody attending for the first time, they may feel a bit out of their league. So I think anything that can be done to kind of foster that interest that these younger folks have only goes to serve our industry better. So good
We
advice
spoke
there.
to a couple of those youngins and from the Rise and Grind crew, right? And their excitement for what they were doing was really cool. I liked we showed the little clip of them showing off their CAD feature of it bending the wings and stuff, and that just seeing. I would hope that for the old timers, seeing some young people like that who are excited to be getting involved and entering the industry would get them excited to participate, and like Elias said, kind of bring them along.
Yeah, and I give Sean a lot of credit too, because he kind of
You don't have to.
We'll,
We'll go ahead.
curious
We'll edit.
about this one.
I give
We'll
the
edit that out.
chapter
Sounds great.
a lot of credit for what you guys did in Michigan with the hand soldering competition. There were
Yeah, that was cool.
15 students between the University of Michigan and Wayne State. And Tara, who obviously plays a huge role with EMAC, used what you guys did there and is going to use that to help enhance everything that they're doing with the Bright Challenge. And so,
Oh, how
you
cool.
know, it's cool to see. And I think that like the hand solder competition might become like a staple at a lot of expos that want to do it. So that's something
Awesome.
that we're looking
Yeah.
into in the future. So you may be getting some phone calls from Tara to pick your brain, but
Just
Snap
as long as
on.
there's a trophy at the end called like the Sean Kincaid soldering trophy.
Oh boy.
It'd be
no.
like no, I'm joking. No, that's awesome because that's my whole thing was like we need to drive. The sponsors thankfully they're loyal to the SMTA, right? Like they're and we want to provide, or as like president, I want to provide technical things for people who are involved in the day-to-day process. I want to have things there for young students that want to enter into our industry, right? And the exhibitor wants to have CMs come by and people like that to show off their equipment and the new stuff that just this industry advances so fast all the time. There's no way you could know it all every day. It would be too tough. So like I want to incorporate all of that. And then this year I was like, I'm going to focus on trying to get the students into our chapter. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the relationships I made, and then when I go down there to meet and give off the donation to like the professor, for their irons, for their soldering labs, I think it's just going to enhance and kind of create that better relationship. So that way, hopefully next year it's even more fruitful, and maybe get some more universities in. And because the SMT is a great technical resource, and I feel like it's underused and underappreciated. Like nobody talks about the AI bot that the SMTA has, and
Dude,
it's
I
it's
use
an
Max all the
Our
time.
Max.
it's crazy, right?
Our
Like that's so
boy.
cool.
Max will
And
have
more useful.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Max will have his own section in our booth. So
Nice.
Nice.
he will be at SMTAI.
Yes.
Well, I
Please
know the
tell me you're
technical.
dressing Conrad up like a robot.
I
He's
am
spinning
Max.
the
Dude.
sign. He's doing the arrow.
Parts washing is better than batch washing,
Yeah, I'll probably just have to get him one of those a straw connected to a soda
Yes.
for sure.
Diet Coke.
Diet soda.
High Coke.
Yeah, for sure. Diet. Yeah.
Yes.
But
It's
I was
all
just going to
pop.
say, even before Max, that technical knowledge base on the SMTA website, like shameless plug for sure. Because when I first started as a member, like that was the first thing I started using, was finding all the different papers and webinars and presentations that have been given in the past on challenges I was seeing or trying to solve on the assembly lines. So now it's only gotten that much better because one, everything that's ever been done is free to members now. So that's awesome. And then two, it's easy to find from the Max bot now. So kudos to you guys for that, because you've made a good site even more useful and friendly for all of the users like myself. So
Yeah, Ryan's put in a ton of work to make our knowledge base more accessible, more searchable. I think Max is a phenomenal tool that Ryan and Alec have been working on, as well as Tanya, overseeing everything. But yeah, that's been a long time coming, from the feedback that we have seen. People do love Max, and it's a great resource for them.
and
Yeah,
just for the listening audience, or the Tanya, can you let people? Was that your older sister? I forget.
That is my leader and my mother.
And Tanya,
She's the
we
one that we
trust.
ride to battle for. She leads
I
this
would-
crew.
I would run through a brick wall for Tanya.
Run
into one or through it, whatever she asks, right?
Whatever
Yes.
she wants, we're gonna do.
Whatever Tanya asks, I will do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out Tanya.
Yes. Shout out to Tanya. Who actually just got back from India. We just did a 2-day program in India.
Awesome.
We did one in Bangalore and one in New Delhi. And so kind of the big strategic goal for SMTA this year is to really expand in our global presence. We are a global association, just with us trying to reach different parts of the electronic manufacturing industry, not just in Minnesota. Well, yeah, Minnesota. Not just in the U.S. or North America. We know that Mexico is booming. Everyone knows that's a hot spot. But really expanding within Europe. We've got a new alliance in Ireland. We're, in the talks with starting one in France, and trying to pinpoint, where our strong suits are, where our attendees are in India. Penang is doing phenomenal. China, Malaysia, Taiwan. We got a new alliance in Korea. So it's a really big goal for SMTA in 2025 to expand our global reach.
Well, if you're trying to get reach to India, I'm telling you, you should have me do a LinkedIn post, because I get.
I knew where this was going.
I'm like an idol over there. I don't know what it is. I'll do a post and it's like India, new connection, and they never like or comment or anything. Just grow on the list of followers. It's very weird. But let me know next time, and I'll definitely give it a
Next time,
shot.
we need to plug the
I'm
Decode.
telling you.
Do it right.
Because I look at my list of like followers, their locations, right, and I still have
Bangalore.
like. No, I have like 29% Detroit, and then like the next one below is like Bangalore, dude. It's crazy.
28% Bangalore.
It says greater Bangalore area or something like that,
Dang, well, maybe we should just send you with Tanya next year, and then you
Yes,
can,
I think that's what we'll
smart.
do.
We used to have a running joke that there was like this guy who owned an ice cream shop, or was he just a worker there? Do you remember? What was he?
Something like that, but he would
Like
repost your content.
But every time he did, and he had like 4 followers, so he's like a good luck charm. I would get like 300,000 on an impressions, and I was like, this guy is killing it for me, And then like, so now when I do a bad
It's
post
your boy.
and he
That's
doesn't
your
like
boy.
it or doesn't like repost, right? Like I'm like, oh man, this post's gonna be terrible. I need my ice cream. Like I don't
The Bangalore ice cream scooper.
Yeah,
He's out there
Bangalore.
somewhere. He's probably listening.
The
Clearly
hidden
it
trick of
worked,
the
though.
algorithm.
It's
Yeah,
still
for sure.
working.
Yeah.
You just gotta
It's
every time
cracking.
you post, just send it to him and be like, "Yo,
Yes.
just
Yeah.
interact, do something."
Do your
Repost.
thing.
Yep.
I gotta find
Thank
out.
him.
I gotta find who it was exactly, because he was hot for a minute. That
You should
All
start
right, I hate to-
dedicating
So
all your
random.
posts.
Yeah, I hate to, kind of pull us back into the SMTA world away from
Bummer.
ice cream scoopers in Bangalore, but I don't
I
want
felt
this
like
night
this
to
was
get away.
like right after one of the. This is after the conference is over, and we've kind of gone back for dinner. That's where the
Yeah.
conversation was headed.
Yes.
Well, my next comment kind of ties into that, because I don't want this episode to get away without talking specifically, and Daniel touched on it a bit, but specifically these high reliability conferences. I know that we've all attended at least one this year. Some of us are more dedicated than the others and have attended.
Yeah, some of us
multiple.
care. Some of us
Some of
want to
us do
support
care.
the
Why
SMTA.
do I
Some
feel
of us,
like that might be
some
a
of
dig
us-
at Sean, maybe?
some of us want
Oh,
to
no,
learn.
I would never name anybody by name, Sean.
Not to name.
But yeah. But
And if you were
but-
picking up on that or assuming that, that's just because it's probably the most logical conclusion.
Right.
most logical.
Without naming names.
Yeah,
That's right.
Sean.
I want to highlight these events specifically though, because I know to some folks, some people look at the lineup and they're like, yes, 2 days in a classroom, sick. This is exactly what I wanted. Other people are just like, oh my gosh, that sounds painful. But genuinely, these events are so awesome. I know that we've all walked away from them having learned just a wealth of knowledge and connecting dots that hadn't previously been connected. And also, if you think that they're not fun, you must be going right back to your hotel room after they're over, because like the social time at these events and the networking time, it's an absolute blast. So I just, you've probably seen Daniel's experiences, my experiences, Sean's experiences that we post a little bit on LinkedIn, but they really don't do these events justice. The learning
At all.
and the networking and the fun, I can't overstate. It's amazing.
There was legitimately a point where it was about the formic acid reflow oven from Koki's solder paste.
Fluxless solder,
Koki's
right?
solder paste. And I looked at Daniel and I said, like, this could just be like a running April Fool's Day joke of like, none of this is real, because I have never heard of formic acid.
So bleeding edge. Yeah.
Zero
Sean is
voiding,
brain
right?
in the attending.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I literally went to Chris Shea afterwards, like after I said that to Daniel, because he kind of was like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that was at
Yeah.
the Star Conference. Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I literally went to Chris and I said, is this real? Like, are they just messing with me? She's like, yeah, it's real, you know? Like,
Yeah, it had to be at the Star
Probably
Conference
built it.
because Sean wasn't at the other one.
That Star
as
Conference,
No.
so
as
it was like, I got 2 little kids and a wife that wants me home. Like at that
yeah, my wife
conference,
doesn't care.
I was able to make connections with people I had never met before. And as a result of it, I purchased a piece of equipment like a month ago. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm using it day to day in my shop. You know, I was actually just getting trained on it. And like, and I didn't go to that conference wanting to buy a piece of equipment, right? Like I went in there just to kind of have fun.
I should amend that on the 3% chance that this is the episode my wife actually watches. I know she cares. I know she cares. I know
that
she
you
cares.
slipped
All right,
in that
go on,
comment.
Sean. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like,
had to make sure that was
She's
in there.
watching this.
I love you, honey.
the opportunities there it just I don't even know how to describe it. It just comes, right? And it's just from just networking and just saying hello, you know. And now I was thinking about it, like I think that's the first time us 3 met in person for the first time was at Chicago. Daniel and
That's
Elias
how we
met
all
prior.
think.
Daniel met and Elias
Yeah,
prior.
2 weeks before we went to another conference, and well, I guess I did, and actually, at least kind of stood me up. Anyway, but I did go down to his facility afterwards and get to hang out at Metal Etch for the day and see how things work and with his fancy lasers, but and make
was a
fun
good
of Sean. But
I
yeah, but we
fancy
did
laser
all
dinner.
meet.
That's time.
I
We did all
Photoshop
get together for the first time there at SMTAI. That was fun.
I Photoshop Elias out a lot of the photos that they send me from like Dallas, and like, cause he'll like rub it in my face that I couldn't get to go, you know. So then like they'll send a picture of like him with like a group of people and they're eating dinner, and I'll just Photoshop Elias out of it. Like, just kind
That's how good the event in Dallas was. Is usually we're all chatting every day like some middle-aged schoolgirls, but during the event in Dallas, I don't think it's Sean messed.
I was
we're
literally,
spitting.
I was upset. I was upset. Like they just ghosted me.
I think you had FOMO, actually.
Like it wasn't even like you know, one text. I would get one phone call from Elias at like 8 a.m, whatever Texas time, right? And then that was it.
That was
I
one
no
more
text
call than he
back,
got
no
from me.
nothing. And I'm like, this is so rude. You can't even like give me an update. And I would like ask him because there was a guy there I wanted Elias to talk to for me. And I was like, you talk to Charlie, you talk to Charlie, you talk to Charlie. And then like nothing. I didn't hear anything from him. And he called me in the morning to say nothing about Charlie. And just, you know, tell me about his night.
What
Yeah.
job?
Charlie was at like every dinner
Yeah,
too.
and then we sent a picture of us at dinner with Charlie
yeah.
multiple times.
See? He
I'm like,
listened.
oh, why didn't you tell me about this Charlie guy?
There might be some codependency
that's
going on
Charlie.
here.
There it is.
Oh,
so
There
much.
it is.
So much.
Did you pick up on
Bad.
that?
It's very bad. It's very bad.
Yeah.
I would
Sean
say the
had
same
FOMO.
for Karlie and I, but she would probably disagree.
So how often do
call
you
us
two end
sisters.
up at the same event though? Because I noticed that you all kind of like trade off. Sometimes one's at one event, sometimes another's at another. So besides SMTAI, and obviously probably when you're in the office, how often do you two get to work together in the field?
Just
Not too often.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, just to give you a little bit of like structure on how like what our positions are. Obviously we both do events, but Karlie takes about a third of our conferences and then does some operations. I take half of our conferences, or I'm sorry, expos. And then I'm starting to take on some like financial accounting pieces. And then we also have our 2 colleagues, Josh and Kristen, on our events team, and they both split up the remaining conferences and expos. So there's 4 of us. We're the dream team. We're super fortunate. We all get along super well, have similar personalities. And, you know, it can be with events, you have to have a certain type of personality. It's a lot of type A people, but, and those can butt heads, but we're pretty fortunate. We've got a good balance of people, but yeah, so that's typically why. So Karlie doesn't do any of our expos. I don't do any of our conferences typically. So that's why there's not a ton of overlap for us. She might come for backup on site for me if I have a bigger expo and vice versa. But for the most part, it's pretty rare.
Here's a random fact. I just bought an 11 by 17 printer. and it was $2,000.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
11 by
I
17
know.
printer.
Great story.
Like, they came
Great
to me and were like,
story.
"Hey, we
And
want
then he
this
found
printer."
$5 in the printer.
I wish.
But it was only
I don't-
$1,995.
There you go.
Yeah. Do you have any experience with an 11 by 17 printer? Apparently, it's supposed to be the best thing ever invented.
We do have 11 by 17. Yes.
Yeah. You should have sold me it. I would have bought it.
Yeah.
Probably
Dang.
cheaper.
Ugh, gotta tell Tanya.
What do you
missed our
use it for?
opportunity.
We're getting way too off track.
We are. What
This is
are we
terrible.
doing?
This is terrible.
It's my
Wait a
ADD that just
second.
kind of flies. She said
So-
printer, and I started thinking about how delicious that room must smell because I like the smell of fresh ink. And then I started thinking about the printer I had.
Fresh
Where's
ink
the mute?
or gas?
I
Yeah.
Which
don't
one
know.
is better?
Yeah.
Like
Gas.
petrol,
Gas.
like
Gas.
gasoline.
Oh, no, I'm not a gas guy. I'm not a
100%.
gas guy.
Big
Like
gas.
two-stroke gas? Like if
Two-stroke
someone
smoke.
like revs up like a dirt bike or like a snowmobile, you know.
What's a snowmobile?
What's
Okay,
Anyway.
last thing.
She's like,
Okay.
"What
Gotta get
snow?"
back on topic.
Last thing. I'm going to put you two on the spot.
Oh.
So I'll qualify this question by saying every SMTA event I've gone to from my seat or from where I stand has been super polished, well executed, gone off without a hitch. The
Thank
tacos
you.
are always on point.
Oh, I
Everything
love
works. But I know that it's not that pretty in the background. So give us a little bit of insight to like last minute emergencies, stuff that's gone wrong, trade show disasters. Give us the tea.
I would say,
One
I don't
of the
know. I think
major
like
one
one
I-
of my like, yeah, without like spilling the beans, I don't know. One of my like craziest things was it was a big conference. You know, we had to set up, like, we needed time to set up the day before, and we got to the venue and like nothing was set up. They didn't even have our event like that day at all to like be in there. There was another event going on. We had like exhibitors coming in and like speakers trying to set up. It was like chaotic, but you know, with some communication, a little bit more aggressive. I probably used. We got everything done, and the show started the next day, and no one knew anything. Like that's kind of our job as event planners or meeting managers, is to deal with all of the craziness and all of the stuff that went horribly wrong and fix it in the background and have you guys none the wiser that there's a fire going on, that this isn't ready and this, this person doesn't have this, and the keynote's late, but you're trying to figure out everything in the background while just trying to, be that customer service, that that smiley face and
Warm
have
face,
you know
you
what's
know.
going on. Yep. That customer
Just
service.
taking a note here, never to be the reason that Karlie is upset.
Yep.
Okay.
Make sure you have that in the podcast notes, please. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff that we have to deal with in the background, especially kind of leading up to the event, kind of tying it all back to SMT International. On my side with the conference, I'm dealing with 100 plus speakers. So it's really, herding cats. It's getting everything in on time. SMTA is very strict on our non-commercialism policies. So I have to request, our technical papers. Every presenter has to submit a technical paper. So getting those in as well as the presentations. We have a technical committee for SMTA International. It's 43 people. So all those 43 people have to review presentations, that kind of falls into their tracks, as well as session chairs and co-chairs. So, Daniel, if you submit a paper, you're going to have at least, 15 eyes on it, after I already go through it. So it's a lot of tracking, making sure people are getting stuff in on time, abiding by our policies, making sure everything's doing correctly, and making sure everything is done. We have a deadline. If it's not done by October 19th, that's an issue. But it's just a lot of stuff that we got to deal with in the background. Madison has her own projects got to do for the expo. But
Very, very cohesive Excel sheets. We're big Excel girlies.
Yes.
So lots of tracking and ultimately, like, we are here to answer questions, to help support speakers, exhibitors, attendees, like whenever they have questions, and just like, help. And I kind of have taken this stance, like when, we're trying to sell sponsorships, is like, help me help you. Like we're all in this together. We all have the same goal. We want it to be a successful event. If you have questions, if you need support, if you need help, like, how can we help you? Like, that's what we're here for. Like,
Do
I
you
want
have
to be successful.
Do you have your 2026 Excel spreadsheet for SMTAI started already?
Technically, yeah, because I have one exhibitor for 2026. So, yeah.
Did we already commit? Well,
I
This is
do.
like
I have
Elias's
two. I have two.
dream. Elias
Yeah.
loves Excel spreadsheets, and
There has to be
Oh
at
my
least one
goodness.
organized person
Yeah.
in this bunch.
yeah,
Yes.
we would
Yeah.
not exist
Notice
without
how all of
Elias's.
the decode, all of the information about the booth goes to him.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
Yeah.
and
and I know
yeah,
it's
and one thing that's
That tracks. That
mhm,
tracks.
yeah. And one thing, and I think it's somewhat typical at a lot of trade shows, but we do a lottery system. So we assign points to all of the current exhibitors from this year. They get a max of 15 points for various things, like number of tabletop expos they do, if they sponsor, if how many consecutive years they've exhibited. And then based on that number system, they draw a lottery number. So everyone with 15 points, whoever has the lowest lottery number, they get first dibs on their booth for next year. So that's how booth selection works. So we typically try to do that in the new year, like second, third week of January, once people are kind of back and settled. So you'll start seeing the 2026 floor plan start to fill out. I mean, it should be hopefully 60% full by, end of February. So
that would be so cool if you did that live with like the lottery roller thingy,
Like a draft day,
Yeah,
like an NFL draft day.
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not a bad idea.
Tanya just comes out on stage with the 14th
Yep.
pick of the
The
2026
14th pick,
SMTA
yeah.
draft.
Yeah, it's the whole draft.
Booth selection 204.
30
Well,
seconds left. Hurry up. Make a pick.
You're on the clock.
We've
Well,
got
I
a
just
trade. We've
wanna-
got a trade.
Yeah, trades would be hot. Yeah.
Oh,
Trades
yeah.
would be hot.
Why
Yep.
would you even like offer up? Like,
Yeah.
Like 3 drink coupons or something,
we'll give you our lottery spot next year if you guys
yeah.
trade with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know that from my point of view, this is probably like your all Super Bowl, right? So I think that the draft reference is probably appropriate, and we sure as heck appreciate you carving out some time out of what has to be a very busy time of year. I imagine you all kind of running around backstage with earpieces in and like yelling commands at each other,
Oh my
and then a
gosh,
little
we
powder on the
forgot
nose
Puppy
before you come
Coffee.
out in front of everybody, right?
Showbiz,
Um,
baby.
Showbiz. So
Tanya, I'd like to request radios for SMTAI this year.
Yeah.
yeah, I want the like little
Yeah,
spiral
yep.
earpieces and
Yep.
everything.
Official.
Dark
Well, it's super
glasses.
important. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, thank you again for coming on. How can our guests get involved, to get signed up to go to this great event we've been talking about so much? Go ahead and plug your guys' social channels, and how kind of people can get in on the action, get in on the learning, get in on the networking, and then a lot of fun too.
Yeah, you can find more information about SMTA International on our website. It's smtai.org. If you're looking for more information about SMTA organization, as a whole and becoming a member, you can find more information on our website, which is smta.org. For attending our show, there's all that or attending SMTA International. You can find all that information on our event website.
I'm sure we'll have producer
free.
Paul include a link right here for people to see and click or whatever.
Click the link below.
Yeah, that's right.
Click the link below to register for SMTA International.
That's right.
Attending the Expo is free. We have a ton of different packages and prices that people can choose from for the conference, from single day, multi-day, courses only. I urge everyone to take a look at our program and all of our courses that we have. A ton of special events that are free as well as a part of the conference. We do have our women's leadership program on Monday. That is free. That is discussing DFX this year. So we are discussing topics all the way from cleaning, reliability, sustainability, quantum computing. We're kind of talking about it all at the women's leadership program. So please check out our SMTAI website to learn more about our Super Bowl.
And connect with us
Madison,
on LinkedIn.
anything to add?
Isabel would kill me if I didn't say that.
Yeah, follow us on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Or connect with me or Karlie.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, thank you
Yeah.
to our listeners and those tuning in on YouTube. If you liked what you heard today, please subscribe so you can stay informed on the latest happenings of the Decode podcast. And
Even
we
if you
look
didn't
forward
like
to
it, subscribe anyway. Just do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know, just do it.
Come on now.
Actually, if you
Yeah,
didn't
you'll
like
sub-
it, subscribe multiple times.
And then, yeah, that's right. And then tell us all about
Yeah,
it
tell
and
your
like
friend.
just comment
Tell your
over and over again. And
Share it. Make sure you share if you didn't like it.
yeah,
share it,
yeah.
repost.
Share with all
you
your
know.
friends.
Repost. Thank you.
Yeah.
Be sure to catch us at SMTAI. We will be in booth 2403. Till next time, thanks for tuning into the Decode podcast.